also here with Soledad. I just want to ask you, just turn to the issue of Benghazi and the talking points that have now become a real political hot potato. The intelligence community admitted for the first time on the record last night that they, in fact, changed the talking points that Susan Rice used in the talk shows right after the attacks on 9/11 this year to take out al-Qaeda and replace it with extremists. And there had been a big conspiracy theory that perhaps it was the White House or a political move. Is there a frustration there that the intelligence community has taken so long to admit that and kind of left Susan Rice hanging out on a limb?
I am a bit frustrated by that. I think that you recall that when my senior senator and Senator McCain sort of went after Susan Rice in what I thought was an unfair way, I responded rather quickly that I thought that they were aiming their arrows at the wrong person. The fact of the matter is, we all know that whatever requests were made for additional security, whatever went on before 9/11, it was all directed to the State Department, not the United Nations. And this had nothing to do with Susan Rice. Now we know from the testimony of Petraeus, as well as from what has just been said on last evening, that the talking points she was given, she absolutely read from the talking points. She didn't deviate from that. Now, if she had deviated in some way from the talking points, then they would have some issue with her.
So then, forgive me, sir. I'm gonna hop in because I'd love to hear the answer to Dana's question, which is, so then who are you frustrated with? Are you frustrated with the Republicans who seem to be going after Susan Rice? Are you frustrated with the intelligence community? I kind of left her hanging out there. Are you frustrated with the 97 Republicans who signed a letter now urging the president not to nominate Susan Rice for the Secretary of State position? All of the above?
Well, I guess all of the above. I'll just have to say all of the above. The fact of the matter is, the expressions came from the senior senator from South Carolina and Senator McCain. That letter, signed by 97 people, was slated by Congressman Jeff Duncan, who is from South Carolina. So I have some personal feeling about this. I have said before that Susan Rice's father, Emmett, was born in Florence, South Carolina, the district, my congressional district. I knew him very well. He was just an outstanding person. Susan Rice is an outstanding person, and to have her sullied like this really frustrates me to no end. And I hate to see representatives from South Carolina, where her roots run deep, out in the forefront of this. It is just unseemly to me.
I want to read a little bit of this this letter. What they write is she's, Ambassador Rice, viewed as having either willfully or incompetently misled the American public in the Benghazi matter. Her actions plausibly give U.S. allies and rivals a broad reason to question U.S. commitment and credibility when needed. Thus, we believe that making her the face of U.S. foreign policy in your second term would greatly undermine your desire to improve U.S. relations with the world and continue to build trust with the American people. The Congressional Black Caucus incoming chair, Marcia Fudge, who you know well, says that she actually thinks that this is more about the fact that Susan Rice is a woman and that she's black. I want to play a little bit of what she said.
How do you say a person like Susan Rice is not qualified? You may not like her. You may not like the administration. But don't say she's not qualified. It is a shame that anytime something goes wrong, they pick on women and minorities. Come on now. I have a real issue with that.
Would you agree with what she's saying, that there's a racial or sexist component to a lot of these comments? Or would you say, as the letter seems to say, they use the word incompetent and they use the word undermining the desire to improve, excuse me, U.S. relations?
You know, these are code words. We heard them during the campaign. During this recent campaign, we heard Senator Sununu calling our president lazy, incompetent. These kinds of terms that those of us, especially those of us who were born and raised in the South, we've been hearing these little words and phrases all of our lives, and we get insulted by them. Susan Rice is as competent as anybody that you will find. And just to paste that word on her causes problems with people like Marcia Fudge, and it certainly caused a big problem with me. I don't like those words. It say that she was wrong for doing it, but don't call her incompetent. That is something totally different. A lot of very competent people sometimes make errors. And to say that she erroneously did it, I don't have a problem with it. But to call her incompetent, a PhD Rhodes Scholar, and being called incompetent by someone who can't hold a candle to her intellectually, by someone who said, and Senator McCain called her incompetent as well, but he told us that Sarah Payton was a very competent person to be Vice President of the United States. That ought to tell you a little bit about his judgment.